We are here, we are here, we are here on this amazing day. Okay, everyone, this is Cam Jones, FX Daily Analysis, and we are marking up KWR. We are on the 12-month time frame. Price action last candle to the right-hand side of the bullish green candle. So far, I made it up to the midpoint of the second last candle. So is it gonna break through? Is it gonna consolidate sideways, or is it gonna work its way back down? Current price is sitting at 208.604. So if we're looking for highest structure, we're looking for price to head up to the numbers of the green and red, which would be at 252.08. If price action pushes down, it can tag that low area that is right below the bottom of the price action second last candle, that body, which would be near the numbers of 166.92. And before price heads up to the numbers of 952.08, it can break out of that second last candle of that body. So it can break out that near that body of the numbers of 288.42, or maybe the top of that wick, which would be the highest high, or near that structure that we created near the numbers of 252. So we're going to plant one right near 229.21. And we're also going to add the midpoint in the middle. So before price heads to the bottom of that support that we created for 166.92, it can tag the numbers of 199.25, and that's right below price before dropping down to the following level. So let's talk about the patterns that can be formed that can push that market in that direction. So as I said before, price action is working on breaking that second last candle in the market, or it already did. So we're going to see if it's going to follow up with a break and retest, which has a little bit of a break that we have in that area. So if that market pushes up, where is it coming from? So when the market did push up into this area that we did create, is identifying coming down in red for that first leg, second leg, third leg, and we have that fourth leg that's trying to push up. As I said before, we're looking for price to break that midpoint. So if it breaks, you see that it can reach up to highest highs of structure, which would be near the numbers of 252, and it'll close out for that formation of that double bottom. Then we look for that market to break again, to retest the top, to push up further. So as we walk down the time frame, we're looking to see if price action did retest that break of that green SR line. And if price pushes down further, where is it coming from? So it could be multiple patterns that could be read. So if we're looking at the top of that high, just within that green and red, the green candle pushed up once. It's the third last candle pushed up twice. So that's identifying as a double top. So that's already identifying as a M pattern. And then the market pushed down with the second last candle, as we can see. Market pushed down with the third last candle. Second last candle came back to retest. That's why we have that spike in that second last candle, and the market worked its way down. So the market is reading as a double top, a retest, market pushed down, came back to retest again. This retest is retesting the midpoint. So if it doesn't break through, it can drop down a following level. So that means that market is coming from the first, second, third, fourth, retest, first, second, third, fourth, a double top in there, retest, one push, retest, which is a price action. It can happen with a second push and breakout, or that market can just consolidate within, and let's just go for the price, the second last candle body. So market just can consolidate in that area on the top of that top side of that second last candle, or towards the bottom side, or the middle. So anything within that range will be consolidation. So we do know we are in consolidation with the second last candle, with some momentum that the market's trying to push and break out the midpoint of the second last candle. Working our way to the 6-month time frame. So price action on the 6-month time frame is reading as a bullish green candle. Still, second last candle is a bullish green candle, spike up to the high, lost momentum. So what this is reading is that the second last candle still, so price in second still is trying to break out of the third to last candle midpoint, as we currently see with the price action. So we have that break. So as we're looking for, see if it's going to retest to push up further, consolidate sideways, or drop down. And if it drops down, market create that pattern, and we'll see that first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and market comes down. So it'll be a head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, overall triple top, or you can read it as a double top and a retest. So as I was saying before, we are looking for price to break that SR line as it did, but we can see that price second last candle tag that that midpoint of the third last candle. So that market can be identifying is having a hard time breaking up further. But it can push up further. Why? Because price action candle body, the top of that body is above the previous body. The price action wick is above the previous wick. So that market can, so it's basically showing some type of incline in that market. So we are looking for price to break the second last candle wick, which it did. This is why we're looking for the retest to see if it's going to push up further. Walking to the 3-month time frame. So price action on the 3-month time frame is reading as a bullish green candle, spike down to a low. So that market is retesting the second last candle, maybe some of that third last candle at that midpoint. So it's retesting the second last candle midpoint in the range of that area of the third last candle midpoint. So if we took that area and we put a zone around that, we could see what's going on. So if we're looking for the overall pattern and see if that market does push up, so we're looking for, let's put a zone here. So we're looking for market to push up above this midpoint of that zone. And if we look at the patterns that being formed, that market did come back to retest multiple times. The primary area that's respected is the red and green candles to this left-hand side, which identify when the market pushed up, came back to retest for that first, second, third, and we see that fourth leg. Now, if it breaks and pushes out, we'll see that break, retest, market pushes up as we walk down the time frame, or it just may follow up with a bullish green candle that can push that market up further. Monthly time frame, bullish green candle engulfing the previous side. There we see finally received the break with the price action. So it's having a hard time to break that third last candle wick. So you want to see price action break that fourth last candle wick to break that market out of that area. So we're looking for bullish green candles once the market breaks that fourth last candle. But until then, we're still looking for price to break, identifying a retest when we did see this break of that SR line in green. Working our way to the weekly time frame, once again received a break, but then we can see how many times that market tried to break the previous side and had a hard time breaking. So it can come down with the bearish red candle, and if so, market's coming from the first, second, third, fourth, retest 1, retest 2. So overall a quadruple top or a triple top and a retest. And market could come down for, unless that market is respected for that double bottom just within that area, or you can add all the incline of that double bottom. So also it's creating a pattern. So let's talk about that pattern that's being created. It's also creating a wedge pattern. So the wedge pattern is multiple resistance. So we can see that the market tagged that resistance multiple times. And if you look at the incline from that bottom red and green, it comes up as an incline. So that's a wedge pattern. So the wedge pattern is basically the market's going in that wedge, bouncing up and down with the incline, looking to break out, if not drop down, if not just continue to consolidate very tightly, because we can see we are in a tight range towards the end of that wedge. Walking to the daily time frame, price action, bullish green candle, finally still see the breakout, grabbing the second last candle, placing the SR line around that area. And let's take a look at what's happening. So we can see that the market broke out of a pattern. So we can see that double bottom that pushed that market to that high. So first, second, third, fourth, or third, fourth, retest with second last candle. Market pushed up from a double bottom and a retest or a triple bottom. So as I said before, we have the break. Is it going to retest or is it going to consolidate sideways? And we have price side by side with the second last candle. So we're looking for the breakout of that second last candle. We can see price having a hard time breaking that previous side. Walking down to the 2, walking down to the 45, walking down to the 30. Okay, guys, KWR